What if your dream job was researching fairies, but people skills were your biggest weakness? And what if the magic was real, but so was the social awkwardness? And what if the grumpy one was finally a woman? Welcome to Emily Wilde's world, where academic journals meet ancient folklore and cozy fantasy gets a wonderfully introverted twist. Emily Wilde is a scholar, a grump, and quite possibly the most relatable fantasy heroine I've ever read. This is Fantasy and Fika, and today we're talking about magic, messy feelings, and why representation in fantasy matters more than ever. Let's start with saying that this was one of my absolute favorite books, possibly of all time. A friend of mine gave it to me for Christmas, and as you can see, it's hardback and it's in Swedish. Normally, I always buy in a soft back. What's it called? In Sweden, we call it a pocket book when it's got like a soft binding. I don't know what it's called in English. I should probably know that. But anyway, if it's written in English, I normally try to read it in English. But I think this was really good to read in Swedish because Swedish is pretty short and how should I put this? I don't know, it sort of reflects on the cold climate and it doesn't flow as well as English does. I think it sort of enhanced the reading experience because I think Emily Wilde is somehow Nordic or Scandinavian in her heart, but more about that later. And I've heard it's coming out in hardback in Swedish in just a few weeks' time. So excited. So I probably have to read this again, even though I read it just a few months ago. Loved it. Anyway, I'm now going to tell you why I loved it. First of all, the world building. It's amazing. Fairies are real and they can be studied at a university. It feels like someone mixed folklore with academia, or like cozy academia. It's great. This is set on an island. I'm not going to even try to pronounce this island. It's a fake island. It's possibly Icelandic or Norwegian or something like that. And it's in the middle of the winter. And Emily is a scholar on a mission. She is going to finish her encyclopedia. Don't make me say that in English. You know what it says. Over fairies. She's going to finish it. It's not as easy as she thinks. She actually needs some social skills. Not just with fairies, but with people. I know, Emily, that's hard work. I know. There's also a bit of grumpy sunshine subplot romance where the woman is the grumpy and the man is the sunshine. I feel that's very refreshing. Also, I'm not sure that Emily knows about this romantic subplot at all, which is kind of cool and funny. It wouldn't be Fantasy and Fika without Fika. Today I have something from a famous Swedish company called Delicato. I'm not sponsored by Delicato, but I really should be because I've spent an enormous amount of money on their products. This is a new product. They are turning 75 this year, so they have launched a Jubileumsbit, which is quite similar to their famous Delicato ball, which is like chocolate and coconut and coffee type thing. This is something similar, a bit smaller. Don't like small cake and cookies. It tastes fine, but the original Delicato ball is better. I'm gonna stop talking with my mouth full now. And Emily, the most relatable main character I've ever read. She is socially awkward, she's brilliant, she makes a lot of mistakes socially, and it made me feel seen. I think a lot of neurodivergent readers will relate to Emily, her hyperfocus, her discomfort in social situations, and the way people always misunderstand her just because she's not like perfect with social cues and tones and the way she looks. I don't know if Emily is autistic in the book, and I'm not trying to like diagnose fictional characters, but being an autistic adult myself, I could totally relate to Emily. So it's not a book about being neurodivergent, but to me, it feels like one, and in the best way. Sometimes when I read books, I'm having a hard time understanding why the characters do this or why they do that or what's the emotion that drives them and stuff like that. Because it's hard for me to understand people. And I think to me, books are a great way of learning to understand people in a safe environment. I did not have to learn to understand Emily. She was great from the first page. I was like, yes, of course, everything she did made absolute sense to me. Don't know what I should say more about this book because I don't want to spoil it. I think I've said just enough, but yeah, if you want something that is funny and serious at the same time, and it's about love and friendship and all the big questions, but in a very sort of accessible and, to me, relatable way, then please read this. If you're an English speaking person or reading person, all the 3 books are out. I think it's supposed to be a trilogy, but I still have 2 books left and I can't wait. I'm almost jealous at myself that I'm going to be reading the second book for the first time soon. Can't wait. And also, of course, I want to know, have you read it? What did you think? Are you neurodivergent as well, or are you not? And did that in any way affect your experience of the book and the main character? Please let me know. I want to discuss this book because I love it.
There's something magical about finding a story that feels like it sees you. And for me, that was this book. Quiet, peculiar, and full of fairies. And if you've ever felt out of step with the world, but deeply in love with it anyway, Emily Wilde might just be your new favorite too.